Although most of the focus in the last few months has been at what happens at the end of forbearance and what happens when people come out and are they going to be able to afford it, are they going to do loan modification, partial claim, and all those things, there's actually a lot of activity around the forbearance themselves. The new administration has set up new rules that has greatly expanded the number of people who qualify for forbearances even in this late time of March 2021. We have a tremendous opportunity of expansion for people who have FHA loans who now can actually qualify for forbearances that didn't qualify before. This is a massive opportunity for new forbearance requests and for people who have FHA mortgages. I'm going to talk about this and a couple other things in this episode of Debt Law Survival Guide for the Desperate Debtor. My name is Diego Mendez. I'm a bankruptcy, loan modification, and foreclosure lawyer here in Miami, Florida. I've been doing this kind of law since 2008 when I started helping people after the last crash. I've helped a lot of people with loan modifications and foreclosure issues here in Florida, and I've helped a lot of people save their homes. I'm here to help you and to guide you through the process of what to do now that the forbearances are ending and a lot of people have new opportunities and new rights that did not exist before COVID that they can use now to save their homes. Most homeowners who are buying their first home use FHA mortgages to buy the home. These FHA mortgages have the lowest down payment requirements and are the easiest with credit to get a mortgage. Now, historically, an FHA mortgage, while it's very easy to get, was extremely difficult to modify. It has the most limitations for modifications that I've seen in my career. However, we're dealing with something new and different now with COVID. I went out and I downloaded this 82-page guide from FHA that talks about what's going to happen now with the forbearances and with people who are dealing with this issue into the future. This guide is very dense and it has a lot of different rules and rules that have changed significantly, and these rules have basically greatly expanded the number of people who can apply for forbearances and other assistance under FHA. Now, the first thing we got to talk about is this only applies to FHA. So, if you have an FHA mortgage, then you can watch this video and learn about what your options are at this point. And I'm going to give you a little bit of hint about what we're going to be talking about. Even if you're really, really late, you still have new options. Even if you're in foreclosure, you still have new options. So, stick around and I'm going to explain what those options are. So first we're going to talk about the folks that applied for and were given a forbearance before June 20th, 2020. So these are the folks that got the first batch of forbearances. A lot of these folks are still in forbearance right now, and they're still looking at what's going to happen. Now, these folks have a total of 18 months of forbearance. So if you got the maximum amount, which means you started in March, you actually have a forbearance until September of this year, September 2021. So you're very lucky. Now, you can watch my other videos about what happens at the end and the things that you can do with loan modification, that sort of thing. But for now, just understand that you can stay in forbearance through the end of September 2021. And here I've charted out what that means. So basically, you have 1 year and then 3 months and 3 months for a total of 18 months. September 2021 is your last date of forbearance. You have to come off forbearance at that time. And at that point, you can then decide what you're going to do in terms of loan modifications and other things that are available to you with the FHA loss mitigation options that are available to all FHA homeowners. When the last administration passed the CARES Act, they said that people who were current or 30 days late could apply for forbearances if they had FHA. So a lot of people at that point got into forbearances, and a lot of people were told no because they were more than 30 days late. They've since changed that rule a little bit, but I'm going to tell you something incredible. They have eliminated the delinquency requirement for new forbearances. So I'm going to lay that out, what that means. That means that you can be multiple months late, you can be in foreclosure, you can be in a situation where you're losing your home, And right now, you can get a forbearance of all of that money and a delay in the foreclosure for up to a year. That does not mean that you qualify for the other things that FHA offers, like the partial claim and the loan modification. But it does stop the foreclosures for another year. What it does basically is you have to apply for this by June 30th of 2021. So if you're late and they told you early on in the forbearance period, they said you do not qualify because you're too late on your mortgage to qualify for forbearance, those rules have changed for you. Go back to your bank now and ask for your forbearance because they have to give it to you. If you're FHA, they have to give you another full year, 12 months. It has to end by end of June 2022, but you have 12 more months of forbearance. So if you never got a forbearance, you can now go and ask for a year of forbearance and stop a foreclosure, delay a foreclosure, and delay other things that are going on in your case so that you can right now work out a deal with the bank. So don't delay. Call your bank. Even if you were told no before, this is the time to do it. Call your bank. Ask them for the forbearance. It's very complicated. The other things are complicated. The partial claim and the loan modification are complex for people who are very late. But this is simple. They've taken out the delinquency requirement. Therefore, at least the forbearance you can get right now. The other stuff you have to apply for, and there's a complicated formula to get the partial claim when you're very late, and also if you're applying for loan modification. But the forbearance, I'm going to repeat it right now, there is no delinquency requirement, there's no delinquency limit, so therefore you can be very delinquent on your FHA mortgage and still get a forbearance for up to 12 months if you apply before June of this year, 2021. So again, this only applies to FHA if you have Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac, a VA, a USDA loan, or any other loan from a private lender. This does not apply to you. They have their own options, their own things. But if you have FHA, then you are in a very good position to get a new forbearance if they never offered you a forbearance before. Call your bank right now and ask for it. We're entering into a very volatile stage of the forbearances and the end of the forbearance and the end of the COVID relief options. The rules keep changing, but the rules seem to keep helping more and more people. So as long as that keeps going, you should take advantage of these rule changes and you should try to get your loan modification and your forbearance and your partial claim as you move into the rest of 2021. I saw this before in 2008, that there were a lot of options for people at that time. There was HAMP, there were other types of loan modifications that all of the different banks were participating in, and a lot of people did not take advantage of it or did not know how to take advantage of those programs and were shut out. Right now, this is a pretty clear opportunity for folks. You should take advantage of it, call your bank, and see what you can get if you're a FHA. I'm going to do other videos on Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac, and the other ones. But for now, I'm focusing on FHA because they are the largest guarantor of home loans in the United States, and therefore most people are affected by these rule changes. So if you are in a desperate situation and you're looking at your bills and you're not sure what you're going to do, and you were denied before for a forbearance, go to the bank now before June 30th of 2021 and request a new forbearance because they have to give you a year. I very much want people to tell me how it goes when they call their bank, because these rules are ambiguous and there might be litigation around these rule changes. But I believe the clear reading of the rules allows this to happen. So go to your bank, request it if you never had a forbearance, and let me know how it goes. My name is Diego Mendez. I'm a bankruptcy, loan modification, and foreclosure lawyer here in Miami, Florida. Again, I've helped a lot of people with this situation. I'm very open to new information, and I'm very much into this at what I'm talking about. I'm researching these issues for you. I'm reading all these very dense publications and rule changes and digesting them using my filter, which is what I know actually happens on the ground with these banks. I've negotiated hundreds and hundreds of loan modifications directly with banks through mediation and consolidation calls and other types of calls and other types of scenarios with the banks. I've helped people stop sales, I've helped people delay foreclosures, and I've helped people save their homes. I've also helped people who cannot save their homes get rid of their homes through short sales, which I will do videos on short sales eventually. If you like my videos, I very much would like you to subscribe and like. The more subscriptions I have, the more people will watch and the more people I can help with the stuff that I'm talking about. If you have any questions, please put them in the comment box and I'll try to respond as best I can, and the best ones will turn into videos in the future. Thank you very much and have a wonderful day, and good luck with all the things that are changing and all the new things that are happening after COVID.